All right, what's going on, y'all? Uneducated Yogi here with One Family Investing, where we invest, where we learn, we invest, and we make profit. And today we got one of them. The Sofi option actually went through. It's my first option I closed with real money in it, and we know what we made profit. So I'm gonna go over that. And in this video, we'll just go over the public portfolio for a little bit because it's just positive. It's in the positive. We'll look at the chart. Remember, that's our break even line. This is SoFi going over the break even line. So we made profit today. So we're going to talk about that. And, we might do another watch watch party together. But so without further ado, let's go over this option that that's been going on and y'all been following me uh, through this journey. So I closed it just a little bit ago. So I got up again after open because I'm freaking slow sometimes, and this is gonna happen. Um, Sometimes in our journey, we're not in a position that we see ourselves like where we want to see ourselves. I'm telling everybody right now, I am not at the place where I want to see myself, but this is what gets me excited, and I see uh, yeah, sometimes we could, yeah, just feel like we're not in that space, and then we stop, or but we should just keep going, and that's the idea here. So, thank y'all for being here, and through the trials and tribulations of life, we are here now, and it's going to motivate to do more. So, your order to buy. So when I bought SoFi at 23.50, a call. Um, it was a call option, and the strike date was September 5th, and it's August 22nd today. And your individual account has been filled, so that was for $72. Okay, so when I did that order was for $72, and then today, your order to sell or to close the SoFi call option at 23.50 has been filled for an average price of 201 per contract. So, and remember, one contract. So, if I had three contracts in here, just know this will be three times more the amount of money. This is just one option contract, but people buy, you know, 5, 10. So that's how you do options, right? So as we get more and more into this, that number's gonna grow. So, but y'all, I just made from $72 to 201. I don't know exactly what percentage that is, but let's see if we have the percentage on here. But it said like the actual option itself was up like 198% or something like that. So that's a 98% uh, profit, and that is insane. Um, I'm telling you. Yeah, it doesn't say the actual percent difference. Oh, snaps, I had my full name up there. Okay. So it doesn't show the percent difference. So, but y'all see that $72 turned into 201, and you know a little bit of time. And again, this is just one contract. Imagine if I had more contracts. So we're gonna go over to the public account, check out the public account right now because SoFi is doing pretty well. Obviously there's gonna be some type of numbers up. So SoFi percentage right now, I'm up 117%. Nike, I'm up 46%. Genie, I'm up 43%. Nat, I'm up 12%. STM, I'm up 7%. And XYZ, I'm down 10%, well, almost 11%, for a total of 28% positive for the stocks non-ETF. Uh, stocks. For the ETFs, ARK is up 21% and Destiny is down 55%. Destiny's looking like it's gonna be one of them, you know. It's gonna either be a while for it to come up, or it's gonna be a while for me to realize that I shouldn't have gotten that one. But that's one stock out of the nine or so, whatever. How many I got? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So eight in the public portfolio. So the public portfolio doing nice. And what's cool about this? So ideally, this would even be up higher because every month, if I had, investors investing in this, or if I was putting, money in every month, all these percentages are in the green. And again, most likely I would have been putting them in SoFi. I would have been putting them in, well, definitely now SoFi, STM a little bit, the Nike, SoFi. Those are probably would have been the ones I would have been focusing on. SoFi, Nike. Oh yeah, Genie was doing pretty good, and STM, because STM is the whole reason. Like, I still believe like that's gonna go crazy later, but like if the strategy was still being executed, I would be putting in money in this account once, preferably, every check you get. So every 2 weeks, every week, every month, whatever. You put a percentage in here, and imagine. So this account would be way higher right now. So what happens is when I make money from over here, I take it and then I put it in, then I put it over there, or I I I, I trade another option. So I either find another option to trade, or I take the profit and then I put it into the public portfolio. This is like what I'm calling the safe one. Remember? So this is the safe portfolio. This should not be a big risk oriented portfolio, because another one for that. This one's going to be different. So I take the profit from over here, the $200 profit, and then I put it into Charles Schwab, and then I put it into some shares. But I know for this one, I'm going to buy another option because we want to keep going, we want to keep practicing. That's exactly what I would do, and I'm really sharing with y'all what I would be doing. So I'm going to look at the option first. If I find an option that is not that expensive, then I can probably put the rest into Charles Schwab. But for now, this is what we're doing. We can take a look at this chart. So this chart, look at that. It's just so nice when you can just know how this stuff works, and you know what you're looking for, and that's the important part about, we learn, we learn, we learn, we learn. Please do not miss the learning part, because when people say, well, is this gambling? I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm a practicing, or I would like to call myself a practicing monk. I say I'm not doing so good with with what our teachers have told us in the Vedic tradition of Krishna consciousness. So, but forgot where I was going. I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, oh yeah, gambling, because one of the things is non-gambling. So as a monk, the type of monk that I'm practicing to be, or devotee is what we're also called. I like the word devotee more than monk. So the type of devotee that I am, we can't gamble. We're asked not to gamble by the past, spiritual masters and the teachers and stuff like that. So it says no gambling. So one question that comes up sometimes, like, is this gambling? And this is what I was getting to. One way to make it not feel like gambling is, it's like, if you are a engineer or a technician or something, like, the components, so you're not guessing on what needs to be done. Like, if I wanted to build, pick up the biggest thing on my desk and it's locked. If I wanted to build this speaker, if I know all the specs, and I know how to engineer it together, like all the way down to the soldering of putting things together, if I know all of that, there's no risk for me into making this. I'm not wasting my time. I know how to do it. I'm going to finish it. It's going to be done. It's going to be a complete product. So you're not risking. So gambling, as far as risk, like one way that I think about it is if you're risking, like when you go to a casino and you're gambling, you're completely at risk of, or you when you go there, you don't know if you're gonna win or not. You don't know how it's gonna work because at casinos, obviously the house wins more than the people who go. You know, so if the casino wins more than the people that go, it's rigged in that type of sense, right? So you're gambling, like you don't know when you're gonna win. But with this, as soon as once you know how all of this works, um, it's not gambling. It's just like you're just making a call on something because you've done the work to understand it enough to where your risk is less. Just like the safe portfolio, its risk is low because I know what I'm watching these stocks, I'm looking at the companies, I'm understanding, I'm doing my research, and when something goes astray, I'll move it. Just like this destiny, if it keeps on hurting our portfolio, eventually it'll be out of there, and then it's going to be replaced with something else. So because we're watching, but there's still good reason to believe that it's going to go up. So I'm not worried about that. Um, so so yeah, just the other day it was down here, and that shit looks scary. I feel like it hurt. It's like, oh man, the yellow line way up here. And so if I panic, I lose. I didn't panic, and then what happens is you can wait, you can hold out, you don't have to freak out, and then you make the move at the right time. Okay, so that's what happens. It's not gambling. It's knowing what you're doing by doing the correct learning. It's not just learning, it's the correct type of learning. Like you learn from the right people and you're learning the right things for what type of person you are. Because again, you might not be a swing trader, a day trader, whatever. Like you got to know what your goal is. I have a goal right now. I want to be a good swing trader, and eventually I want to know the day trading skills. Well, if you swing trade, you know how to day trade. You apply it differently, but how you execute the strategies will be different, and that's why it's important to know, to be specific. When I was studying real estate, it was very important to know if you're going to be a buy and hold person or a buy and flip. You know, it's two different. You're still buying the property. You know, the real estate property, but the overall strategy is going to be different. So it's just like that. You want to know what type of trader you want to be. So buy and hold, like everyone should have a buy and hold a portfolio to where your funds are safe and secure and you're not thinking about it. Everybody should have one of these to where you buy and hold long term. You're buying companies that are reliable, just like Sofi, just like Nike. You're buying companies that are reliable and you're hanging on to them for the long term. So that's everyone should have one of those. um, and then if you want to become a trader as a thing, like, hey, I want this to take care of me, or whatever. Like, I want to know it enough to actually make a public, like a portfolio, a safe portfolio. But then a little bit, I want to start learning how to swing trade because Uneducated made that look so dope. He making it seem so easy. So I want to be a swing trader or a day trader, but you gotta have that plan. So yeah, I'm gonna come up with a new option for SoFi. Remember, I got the watch list down here that I haven't really went over with y'all, but we're actually going to. I usually ask to go to the stock. SoFi. So just as a for instance, so I learned from this first option trade that I did personally, right? And that's why I wanted to do something with my own money in it because it's different than the watch list, but also you could think about this stuff while you're doing the watch list paper trading basically. While you're doing paper trading, you can still have the feelings of the gains and losses, depending on how you do it. So yeah, so trade SoFi option. So just as a for instance, I learned that I want to go more than just a few months out, like 2 or 1 month out. That was yeah, it was about a month or two. I want to go further out. so so basically, I would go as many days out as I'm thinking. So I want the option to be okay. I just heard a strategy about options being a year and a day out and how the taxes work. So that's all the stuff I'm going to be learning. I don't know that knowledge all the way yet. Um, so I'm gonna go with a three 3 months out. 3 months out. I'll go to December. Okay, so then I'll start looking at these, and it looked. See, this would have been. So again, remember we're looking at the Greeks, but I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna do some different type of research before I pick. But I have $200, so I have this has to be $2 or less. I can't get the ones that are $2 and more because again, you take this number and then you times it by 100. So this would be this. If I wanted this one, this would cost me $208. $208. Um, okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to start looking around these areas. But anyways, so I'm most likely gonna get another option. I don't. I'll let y'all know obviously which one I get at the time that I get it. But like if I wanted to buy this one for instance, it cost me $184 for one contract. Remember, one contract. And if I wanted 10 contracts, I would put 10. And then it's $1,840 because you're getting one contract, which is 100 shares, 10 of those. So this is a thousand, well, 10 contracts, 1,000 shares. So that's not bad, to be able to own, to have the right to do something with 1,000 shares of this all the way until December 19th. Okay. Anyways, I'll figure that out later. Let's get to, I want to just talk a little bit about ICP right now. ICP is the cryptocurrency that is the main cryptocurrency of the public portfolio. Um, see if it logs me right in. If it does, then we'll just check it out. But if not, then we won't check it out. But this is the last thing I want to go over, which is ICP. And I got to wait till I get home to log in to see how um, to see to log into my NNS. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Um, to see how the staking is going. You remember when I put the 500 ICPs and we have it, somewhere. So just keep that in mind that that's what's happening with ICP. If y'all remember. So I go here on my watch list. I have ICP. It's still at $5.52. we can't wait because ICP will be blowing up. It will. I mean, it has to go somewhere, you know. Okay, so but ICP is the cryptocurrency that is basically creating the new internet on the blockchain. So on-chain internet, and basically it's decentralized internet. No one can own it. It's more private, so it's more private for us. And ICP is the leading company right now that has the technology, the resources to supply that to humanity. So it's always good. Well, for me, I gotta pay keep up with this. This is what I'm showing you all the type of research that's always happening with me. So caffeine AI is a new it's a internet it's a app creating AI program to where you can make websites and apps just by typing in what you want. You say, hey, I want an app that is like Airbnb but for um, dog walking, and then this AI, it makes the app for you. you know, so it's pretty cool. But anyways, I want to watch a little bit of this because this is the type of research that I do, and I'll talk about the things that he's talking about as we keep going.
Let's talk about the new era of data persistence and vibe coding using blockchain technology and caffeine AI on the Internet Computer Protocol, ICP. If you appreciate educational ICP content like this, please support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Let's listen to Dominic Williams, the founder and chief scientist at Dfinity Foundation, as he explains orthogonal persistence on ICP.
What is enhanced orthogonal persistence? Well, it's really a system that completely rethinks data persistence. Data persistence, of course, it refers to the process of making sure that you don't lose your data. This technology aims for simplicity, so there's no database.
No database. That might sound crazy in a world where all of our software and apps rely on big tech servers. These providers are centralized points of failure, prone to data hacks and system crashes. See the CrowdStrike incident July 2024, when millions of Windows-based applications crashed, paralyzing airlines, airports, banks, hospitals, even emergency services. We need solutions like orthogonal persistence on ICP to guarantee that situations like the CrowdStrike episode simply cannot happen. So how does it work?
So no databases. So the places where hackers can come in and get all of our information, because like when we're using apps, what happens is it goes into this database, like they're saying basically, um, and our information is stored there. And what happens at some point in time, big companies like Microsoft, Amazon, they realize that they can sell cloud space. But at some point, cloud space was just there. People was, I guess, using it, but it was free. So at some point, Amazon, Microsoft, they started, WS, Microsoft, I don't know, Google, whatever this is, but they have these cloud services. So they basically sell simple internet space because they have an infrastructure behind it. Um, so this eliminates that. So databases go away because ICP has this thing called canisters, which it's a database that is on the blockchain. So all the data in there is secure, and the person who starts with the data, they own the data. So in Facebook, all these companies are big companies because they're selling our information to other places. So they have their database and then they're selling our information. Imagine if we got a little bit of that profit because they're selling our information. You know, YouTube, Facebook, Google, these are billion and trillion dollar companies because of us. So what ICP is going to do is going to put all the data in our control. So now if people want it, there's going to be ways for us to allow people to use our data, but they'll have to pay us. Okay, just think about how crazy that is. Who's like, is humanity going to support this? Probably, right? Because it's brilliant and it eliminates so much. But even big businesses, just like you just saw, like Sony got broken into. They just showed you the airports and stuff like that. So this is going to eliminate that. So it's going to be really cool. Let's keep going.
Instead of relying on a separate database, ICP's orthogonal persistence stores your app's entire state, all the data, files, and logic, directly inside of smart contracts called canisters on the ICP network. This blockchain network is distributed across more than 1,600 independent node providers in over 30 countries, making it tamper-proof, ultra-resilient, and immune to single-point failures.
So when Caffeine is building apps that are being deployed to the internet computer or some other ICP technology, there's no database involved. And it has flexibility in the sense that the data that's persisting can have any form whatsoever without any restrictions.
This is a big deal. With orthogonal persistence, you're not locked into a fixed spreadsheet or database layout like with legacy cloud providers. Today, your app might store simple text and numbers, while tomorrow you could add photos, videos, or new features, all without redesigning your storage model. This is in contrast with most legacy providers who require complex schema changes and risky data migrations every time you want your data structure to grow or change. We can see how enhanced orthogonal persistence will be very important for Caffeine AI.
Just real quick, I'm sorry, you might have to rewind this and go back, whatever. But being able to update your whole system without needing to buy a bunch of new stuff is very important to understand. Why, again, so why is ICP so important? Because when companies, imagine, okay, you have a database and you get, Microsoft, they come out with this cool new product and they get a bunch of new people, and then this new product, it's so much more advanced that you need to restructure how the data is stored and how it moves. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. They have to rebuild the database. That's why a computer was the size of a room at one point, and then now it's this little thing. But then the data still has to be stored into places. And now, if you have a big company with a lot of movement, then your database is going to be pretty big. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to have less of that, because if a big update happens, then you have to change all that. That's very expensive. All new equipment, how to update it. With the canisters, you update the database, and there's no structure anywhere. So you just update it on the blockchain. That is so huge, y'all. Okay, I know. It may or may not make sense to y'all, but I'm telling you right now, it's huge.
ICP's vibe coding platform that allows users to spin up decentralized applications and deploy them directly to the ICP blockchain, simply by prompting the AI through a chat interface. Dominic and the Dfinity Foundation are planning for millions of everyday people to be empowered to become software developers using just a smartphone and Caffeine AI.
There's some safety guarantees which are very important, because there are approximately 5 billion people worldwide with smartphones. And since the app lifecycle is a conversation, potentially there could be 5 billion app developers out there, and there's no way
He's the creator of ICP.
there's enough technical people to fix things for them if they go wrong. There has to be inherent safety, and orthogonal persistence, as we'll see, provides that.
With orthogonal persistence in Caffeine AI, users can continuously update their apps safely just by having an ongoing conversation with the chat window. No tech expertise needed, no legacy IT or cybersecurity teams needed. With ICP, even firewalls are now a thing of the past.
And lastly, it's extremely efficient. Orthogonal persistence is much faster than keeping data in a traditional database.
So not only is it more flexible and safer, it's also faster.